Hey everyone, welcome back to I Told My Wife I'm Paying Bills. I'm Slim. Once again, doing another bonus episode. I'm gonna try and keep my hands down. Sorry, I noticed last time I was like going like this a lot and doing other things. So let's try and see if I can keep my hands down a little bit this time. Um, doing another live show bonus episode. The fellas and I were not going to be able to record until next week. So the week after next, you'll get a live regular episode from us. All three of us will be here, but each of us are going to also do our own solo show. So be on the lookout for that. It's going to be kind of exciting for that. So while I'm running this test again, I'm trying to do some updates just to see if I have that lag issue again. Did some couple things and checking some things out. I need to see if it's my equipment or if it's my internet connection. So I said, while I'm doing this test, I might as well go ahead and do another show. Why not? Right. Anyway, so in doing this little test, I'm going to probably do another 30, 40 minutes if y'all don't mind. Uh, and I think for this week's topic, for this solo show's topic, I kind of want to do something special, kind of nostalgic to me. I'm a child of the 80s. So I wanted to be a little bit nostalgic thinking about the 80s and Saturday morning cartoons. I think we kind of touched on this before. I want to dive a little bit deeper in there so we can talk about it some more. But those 80s cartoons, man, you wake up, grab a bowl of cereal sometimes, or if your parent was up, they would make you breakfast, whatever, and you would instantly turn on to your scheduled show, whether you were like a ABC to CBS or ABC to NBC or Fox or whatever it was back in the day. Saturday morning cartoons were just they were the best. They were the best. Oh, by the way, too, if anyone's in chat, I don't know if anyone's watching or not, but it's all good. I'm still gonna run this test and we'll see how it goes. Um, but if anyone's ever in chat, just go ahead and give me a shout, say what's up. So, all right. Actually, too, tell me where you're streaming from too, and that's something else I got to try to not to swallow too much, make up too much noise and all that. So, excuse me. All right. Uh, the cartoons from Saturday mornings back in the days. Those were some really good shows. I mean, they had some like pole position. They had Dungeons and Dragons. They had oh man, I'm trying to think of some ones that were mostly on Saturday morning. What are some of the other ones? I did say pole position. What else did I say? Um, they had Captain N and the Power. Oh man, I think it was I forgot. It was Captain N and all of them. But some of these shows that were in the 80s, back in the 80s, they came on during the week and they actually um had different types of syndication, and some of them, they started on Saturday mornings and they got moved from Saturday mornings to during the week, or like, a Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever, right? Some of them were actually weekly and they came out weekly or every day, I think. But so about these shows, what I kind of wanted to talk about was these shows were so iconic that they decided, they just never left some people's hearts. So some people decided to go ahead and reboot them and bring them back. So that's what I'm kind of talking about today, and that's why this episode is called Saturday Morning Rewind. If you can remember, there was like so many good shows, and then there was a couple that were complete misses. But the really good ones, there's so many of them that came back. He-Man, DuckTales. Um, I just found out today that Darkwing Duck is coming back. That one was I remember when the very first time Darkwing Duck came on. I remember because I believe I rushed home from school. I mean, it's what you could do when you're on the bus. I rushed home from school just to watch that show. And apparently now, I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. But apparently now they're going to redo it, and it's gonna have like a hint of Batman Beyond aspect about that, but I'll go into that in a little bit later. But going back, He-Man, like I said, Transformers. The Transformers, come on, we know that that's been rebooted. Uh, Ninja Turtles. You know what? I'm gonna go and touch on each one of these as best as possible, as quickly as possible. But Ninja Turtles, Voltron came back, and that was actually pretty dope. So, and then Thundercats came back. She came back. So all these different shows came back because they were just so iconic that it's kind of like they held a such a personal place in these people's heart. They were almost like a warm hug, you know? And it's like these shows were needed. They were needed. They when they when they were out and before, it was such a good time because you just kind of relax. It just lets you go away from the world. And like some of them were so ridiculous, but they were so special. They were really so special. So I kind of want to jump into these. Um, and I think I want to start with He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. And from that, I'm going to jump over to She-Ra as well. So He-Man, ridiculous show, but somehow still so good. It's about a dude in a loincloth who's fighting against a dude who's got a skeleton face. Regular body, skeleton face. So weird. Um but something about that show, even though it was kind of suspect a little bit, just a little suspect, but something about that show was really special because even though it kind of had this weird vibe about it, and I don't even know the best way to put it because for real, I could say the vibe was weird, but was it really? Everything in the '80s that came out kind of had its own vibe and its own thing going on, you know. And so like He-Man was. Oh, and there goes my dog. Okay, so I mentioned this last time that my dog comes to the door and everything like that, and he will come and he will like whine at the door. You see him standing right there. Give me a second, y'all. Hold on. He's gonna be back. Normally somebody's down there with him, and here he's back. All right, I'm gonna stop and I'll be right back.